I'm in tight quarters today. Seattle, it's kind of taken a turn, the weather, so it's like really getting like winter out there already again. So I had to brought things inside. But I'm doing acrylic here. I'm laying this out with a little burnt umber. Burnt umber, yellow ochre, yellow. I mixed my green with cerulean blue and added some yellow into each. More yellow here, more a little less than that there, and less there. I'm eventually going to put black into that to make my trees. This is the cerulean blue with white in it for the sky. So I'm basically laying this out with an acrylic brush, filbert brush, and I want to kind of enclose all this in, so there's a lot going on in here. So I want to have distant mountains too, way back there, a bunch of them. I put those in gray. I want to have a hill coming down like this and like this. I don't know which one I want in front here. Maybe this one. And then have one come here, one like this. So this is a beginner's painting. You'll see what I mean once I get this laid in. Because I'm going to put all the color in first and then show you how to put trees in there and stuff. And we'll go from there. I don't have anything in the description yet till it gets uploaded. Then I'll add a description in there of everything I'm using. This is a 14 by 14 canvas, and I'm using acrylic paint. Okay. Let me get started. This is cerulean blue, and I put white in it already to lighten it up because I want a light blue sky. Okay. And I'm dipping my brush in this water that has a little additive in it to help the paint flow on the canvas. I'm going to probably put, this is a 14 by 14, so I'm hoping it goes pretty quick. I don't want to take too long on this. I just want it to be like a beginner's painting. So there's not going to be too much hard stuff in here, like a waterfall. It's just going to be hills and trees, okay? And with the blue sky and maybe a few clouds. But I'm going to try and make it look good. Right now what I'm doing is blocking in the color in all the areas. I kind of know what I want. These will be gray, these distant mountains way in the back. And I'll show you how to do the mountain here in a second. I got those different greens. What I do is I have a cup of water here to rinse my brush each time. And then I keep a paper towel in your hand if you want. Now I'm going to grab my light green, the lightest green I got. I'm going to make this hill back here light green. Okay, I'm just going to block it in for now. I'll show you what we'll do to it here in a second to give it more color. Just use a light green on this hill. Now on this hill here, I'm going to use the green in the middle, which is a little darker than that, okay? I'm going to put that green here. I wanted to do green hills today. Grassy hills. Very good. I'm going to put a little bit of this green with this one now, just to darken up some of it to get some different values in there. See that? Just to get some different flavors in there. You could use different colors in there. You put browns in there if you want to create some like an extra hill in there or something like this. Just add a little brown. It'll add some stuff to it. Now I got some gray here. I'm mixing Payne's gray and some white for these mountains way in the back here, okay? I want those to be gray. A light gray. Put some tall peaks back there. Today I'm going to show you a trick. It's when I'm all done, I'm going to wash the mountain with a light white, and it's going to make the mountain appear further back after it's all done drying and stuff. I'm going to wash it with a little bit of water and white paint on a brush. It's going to make it look hazy, and it's going to push the mountains further back in the distance. This mountain in the front now, I'm going to make it darker Payne's gray. If you're a beginner, what I'm doing is basically getting all the colors put in right now in dark. And then I'm going to add things to it once I get the main colors in, okay? This is going to be the main mountain here in the middle. I just put a little white at the bottom here to bring it down, to lighten it up a little bit. Alright, there's the mountain. This is the underpaint, by the way. There's going to be a lot of stuff going on this mountain here when it dries, so look at that. Let's see how it's looking so far. Pretty good. Pretty good, pretty good. So this side here, I'm going to put the darkest green I have. I mixed how I got this green, I mixed the cerulean blue with just a little bit of yellow. Green is like a magic color to me. It's like, how do you get green from mixing blue and yellow? It just blows my mind. It's the only color that doesn't make sense to me. Like, I can understand what red and blue, you get a purple, right? And what's the other colors? Yellow and red, you get orange. I understand that. But blue and yellow, you get green. So I always think green is like a magic like a magic color. I kind of don't like the way this is turning like this, but it's what I did, so I'm going to make this down here let's make this water. How does that sound? Like a pond. I think that'll look cool. So take the blue from your sky and let's just put a little fishing pond down here with the color of the sky there. Just make it blue. We'll put a pond, water pond down here. It's going to be right close to us, like we're standing here getting ready to fish, okay? There, the underpaint's done. That looks pretty good. That looks really good. I think I'm going to start with the clouds today. Take a filbert brush like this. It's a filbert brush is kind of rounded on the top, and get a number 6, 8, or 10, whatever size. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in here with titanium white, and I'm going to punch in some small clouds at the bottom here, okay? Just stamp it in. Keep them really small, okay? Just fill your brush up like this, and we'll put small clouds in here around the bottom of the mountain. Hear that? It's like a drum. Just some small clouds there. Try not to put too much water on your brush with these smaller clouds. You don't have to put that much water on your brush, okay? Now I'm going to run some clouds maybe from the peak here up to this corner here, like this. And now start making the cloud a little bigger by just stamping it in a little lower. Now with your brush at the bottom, just at the bottom, pull it to the right. Just at the bottom. Let's do that same thing from this way. Stamp, go all the way up to the top. Make that cloud a little bigger. Let it mix with the blue if it's still wet. And then pull the bottom to the left. Just like that. Very simple sky today. I'm going to get a smaller filbert brush now and put some snow on my mountain. Same thing, don't get your brush too wet. I'm going to have the light coming in from the right since this hill is lighter. Light's coming from the right, so on the right side of your peak, just take a brush and put a little bit of titanium white on the right side of each peak, okay? Just a little to start off with. Kind of pull it down and to the right a little. But stay on the right side. Because the light's hitting over here on this side of it, okay? Just like that. Now I'm going to put a little more down here on this one. A little more snow and turn that mountain a little bit. Same thing here. Just add a little more white. Add a little here as well. That looks good. Now I'm going to mix a little my blue from the sky with a little white and Payne's gray. You're going to end up getting this bluish gray color. Now, just left of your snow, pull this bluish color to the left on your mountain. This is the shady side of the mountain. It's the color is blue and bluish gray. And just, you can actually pick up some of your white. Go right up to your white with the color, your brush, and actually hit the white with the brush, and then pull it to the left, okay? Just like that. Just pull it to the left. This is the side where the sun's not hitting. We'll create a shelf right here. Doesn't that look cool? Simple mountain. Now I'm going to rinse my brush off a little and grab a little titanium white and kind of smear it in here at the bottom, just to make it look like mist down in here in this little valley, okay? Just a little white. It's mixing with the blue a little. Just like that. Wow. Doesn't that look cool? I really like that. So I'm going to do this painting real easy. So this hill here, I'm going to run some trees down the hill to maybe about here. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to take my middle, the green that I used over here, which is in the middle, and I'm going to add a little bit of this gray to it. Gray it up a bit. I want it to be pretty, not that dark. Maybe add a little bit of white to it, just a little. Just like that. Lighten it up. Now, up here at the top, let's make some tree tops up here by just stamping your brush. And try and make some tree tops. Very small, okay? These are going to be small, distant trees up there, and kind of level it off. Level it off about right here. And then get some more paint and keep coming down with your filbert brush and just press in and make some round top trees there, okay? Just like that. Those are going to be distant trees on that hill. Over here, this hill's a little closer, so they're going to be a little darker. So I'm going to use this green here the same way. I'm going to add a little gray to it, and then maybe a little white. There we go. And same thing, let's put some round tree tops up here. Bring it down. And you can level this off a little here too. Keep coming down with small tree tops. Just stamp it in. Just like that. Now, if you want to rinse your brush off, let me see if it's showing up in there. You see how it's kind of hard to see the bottom of the tree? So I'm going to grab a little bit of titanium white. My brush is a little wet. And right at the bottom of my trees, what I'm going to do is pull some titanium white out at the bottom. Just like that. Just to lighten up that grass up there. Just keep blending it in. It's going to blend in with the green and get the hill get lighter. But you'll be able to see the bottom of the trees now, okay? Just keep blending it in. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Over here, I'm going to try that, the same thing, but use some yellow. Okay, right at the bottom of the tree. Wet your brush a little if you have to. This is yellow. Right underneath the trees. Just to lighten up that ground a bit under the trees. Pull it to the left. Alright, so our distant trees are done on those hills. I'm trying to make this easy for a beginner. I'm going to fix my hill here now and put some of the dark color back on it here at the bottom. Just like that. Okay, there's our hills are back. Wow, this is looking pretty good. Alright, it's time to do, I'm going to do an evergreen tree over here on the water here. So what I'm going to do with this, the darkest green I have, I'm going to try and add a little this burnt umber to it real quick. Make it dark, and I'm going to put some bushes down here on the water's edge. These are small bushes. This water is going to be really close to us, so these are going to be small bushes, not trees. And they're going to line the edge of the pond there. Now I want to run an evergreen tree up here and show you how to do that if you're a beginner. For that we're going to use a, it's called a fan brush, okay? And to do that I want to mix this green that I have here with a little black now. I'm going to take a little bit of that green to the side and put a little black in it to darken it up, because I want a dark evergreen tree. When you add black to a color, that's like adding a shade to the color. you don't have to use black. You can use like a dark blue if you wanted to, but I like to use black because it really makes it dark. I want it to stand out over all these other colors. So let's put a small one in here first, just to see what it looks like. So I stamp my trunk in. I'm going to turn my fan brush sideways, and I'm going to stay on my trunk and stay small. And as I come down, I'm going to press harder and get wider at the bottom. And there's an evergreen tree, really simple. Okay, let's do one a little taller next to it. Maybe put a little angle on it. And stay on the middle, small at the top. And then as you come down, get wider and wider. Just like that. Wow. That's looking pretty good. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going to the edge here. Use the corner. Stay small up here. Stamp on the middle of your trunk. You can turn your fan brush to the other side if you run out of paint. Bring it all the way down. Try and make them look a little different, you know. Look at that. Doesn't that look wicked? This one needs a little better top, but you get the idea. If you're, sometimes the fan brush gets a little out of shape, so you gotta straighten it out a little bit, but adjust your trees if you need to, make them look the way you want them. Sometimes the less you work them, they look more natural. Now, how to shade this, our light's coming from the right. This same color, I'm going to add a little gray to it, okay? I should do another tree over here with this color before I put the shading in. But this is the color I used for those trees. So what I'm going to do is take a little bit of this gray now over here. I hope I'm in and add it to it. Add it to that same color. And now what we're going to do is on the right side of each tree, you're going to come down. We may have to add a little white to it, yeah. Grab a little white. Grab a little white and add some white to it. And on the right side, just come down on the right side of the tree, okay? Use the corner of the brush. It's usually better to wait and let that dry, but just stay on the right side. But I'm trying to hurry so the video's not so long. And bring it down this grayish green color, and it'll highlight the tree there. You see that? Doesn't that look cool? So that's how you highlight those trees, and you can use different colors, but I'm trying to do it simple today. So to finish this thing up, I don't want it to be too difficult. I'm gonna put in some more bushes right here on this hill, and then put one more tree here, and then probably call it finished. So I'm going to darken up my green, the green that the darkest green I have, and what I'm going to do is make some bushes on the top of this hill here, okay, with a filbert brush. Just press in and try and create some round bush tops up there. Okay, bring it down to the hill. Just like that. Okay. You can get bigger over here on the side. Just like that. Now at the bottom, pull the bottom to the right. It's going to create some groundwork underneath. Alright, there you got some instant bushes coming down that hill. It looks more like a hedge in someone's backyard, but that's alright. I'm going to add some twigs to it. I'm going to take some more black now and darken up that green, because I want my evergreen tree dark. And I'm going to put a dark tree right here, all the way into the sky, coming down to these bushes, okay? Now this is taller, so with your fan brush, you're going to design your leaves as you come down, and come down slowly, and as you come down, press a little leaves on each side, and then get wider at the bottom, just like that. Just come down to the bottom and then take a look at your tree. And what I like to do is just fill in the middle part here with some branches, just the middle, and I'll extend some of the branches out. Just fill in a little bit in the center, and that's about it. I kind of like that tree. It looks like it needs a few more branches up in here, but you can adjust your tree the way you want it. Get it looking good. You know what an evergreen tree looks like. I think we need a little branch right here. Now the same thing with this. Add a little white to that same color that you just used. A little bit of white. And you're going to get a grayish green color, okay, like this. And you're going to come down just on the right side. Hit the top part of these branches, okay? Just the top parts. And just on the right side, okay? Because the light's hitting more over here. Alright guys, that's about looking good. So on the bottom of this hill, let's get a little bit of, wet your brush and get a little titanium white, just like we did up there. And near your bottom of your bushes, just pull some of this titanium white out into the grass. And get it to blend into that grass a bit. Just like that. It's kind of glazing it. In a couple minutes, that's going to turn green. Okay. Now, since this is a beginner's painting, I'm going to take my fan brush. You see this pond right here? You see the trees? We need a reflection there. So I forgot about that. So we're going to do the reflection an easy way. okay, with the filbert brush. So first thing, we're going to put this green. You see this green here? We're going to put the green in the water first. We're going to use the darkest green that I used there. What you're going to do is just take your brush with some green and just gently pull some color down here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now get some of that dark color you used for the trees. And what you're going to do is come down with a few trees and make a triangle like this. Make 3 long triangles with that dark color. Just like that. Now rinse your brush off. Rinse your filbert brush off and then kind of dab the water off a little bit. Now come down here with a wet brush and you're going to go across what's in the water. Just what's in the water, very lightly, okay? Get it to smear a little bit. Just like that. And that's how you do a reflection. Now get your fan brush, get it a little wet, and put some titanium white. Put some titanium white on it like this, and at the bottom of your grass, use the corner, and you're going to stamp in some white color at the bottom of the shoreline, okay? Just like that. Just stamp it in first, and over here you're going to actually pull to the left from the green grass here. Pull some white, keep your brush horizontal. From the shoreline, pull it to the left. Now with your brush, go over that white that you tapped in there with your brush, just like that, okay? Now very carefully put a few lines in the middle here over your reflection, not too much. That's it. Water's done. It's a simple way to do a pond there, okay? You don't want to cover your reflection. You might, if you mess it up, just fill this back in with blue again and then redo it till you get the look you like, okay? I'm going to use this, it's a kind of like a round brush, a 1/2-inch brush, and I'm going to highlight these bushes with some yellow ochre. I'm just gonna dab my brush into some yellow ochre like this and get it filled with some yellow ochre. And you're gonna come up here very lightly, okay? This brush is too big, so I have the same type of brush that's a little smaller, okay? I'm going to dab into that yellow ochre and I'm going to hit the top part of these bushes with this yellow ochre. Just the top part, and on the more on the right side. Leave this dark in there, okay? Just on the top. There we go. Very gently to change the color of those bushes. Alright guys, I think that's all I want to do as far as the bushes. I mean the trees and stuff. That's enough foliage. You can highlight. I'm going to put some color on these bushes here with the fan brush, okay? And very lightly, what I'm going to do is create some bushes down here on the top and leave some of the dark underneath. I'm just going to stamp in some bush tops, okay? Just like that, and leave the dark underneath, okay? I'm in a hurry now. I got some burnt umber here, like a brownish color, and underneath my bushes here, I'm going to pull a little bit of the brown out into that white that we put down. You see how it kind of turned a greenish color? Let's put some dirt next to these bushes just by adding some brown in there. Blend it in there. It's almost like glazing it, okay? What I'm going to do, I got some color left. I'm going to put a bush in this corner here. Just a bush sitting there. All right, guys, that looks pretty good. Trying to find my liner brush. Look at my brush holder I bought. I got it at Michael's. They were selling a lot of Halloween stuff. Edgar Allan Poe. You see where I'm at on time. 42 minutes, so I'm going to put some birds up here with the liner brush. In a little can, I have a little bit of water with some flow additive. You just put a few drops of this in with the water, and then I dip my brush in that water, and then I grab a little bit of black, okay? Then I make some birds in here. Put a bunch of birds today. Some small ones that are way back there. That's about all I'm going to do right now. I'll finish this up and post the finished product on a post. But I don't want to go any longer. I'm going to put some twigs in here. Just like that. I'll make some twigs coming up from these bushes. Kind of wiggle them in different directions, okay? And then I'll put some twigs out here. You can put a dead tree in here if you want. I'll probably work a path from back here, and maybe I should do the pathway on this video so you can see how I do it. I'm going to use a knife like this, and I'll create some kind of path coming down that mountain. So I'm going to mix a little white, because I usually use white, but I'm going to kind of gray it up a little bit. I just put a little paint on the tip of my knife. This is the kind of knife I use. I'm going to design, we'll say there's, maybe it's coming from way back here. I'm going to put a, like, maybe it could be water coming down. I'm keeping my knife straight. So it looks like a pathway coming in through here. And then I'll come out onto the grass. Bring it forward. And I'll jump up on this hill here. And let's bring it down to the water. There we go. Just like that. So it looks like there's a trail going back up to the mountain. Alright guys, that's all I'm going to do on this one. I appreciate you watching. I'll finish it up and make a post. Still needs a lot of work, but that's a good start for you. Alright guys, thanks, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.